Howdy all, this is Shane and we're going to take a look at the R16 Recorder Interface Controller by Zoom. Now this is an 8-track portable recording system that records straight to an SD card. So the benefit of that right off the bat is you're not going to have any problems with vibrations or bass frequencies triggering at like a traditional hard drive. This actually records to a solid state flash disk which has no moving parts, so it doesn't matter, you can put this on a bass amp and it's going to be fine. Now you might be wondering about the back. This is where it shines. You have 8 inputs straight here, accepts both XLR as well as 1/4 inch jacks, so that's really cool. It also has headphones out and a stereo output here. So you might see on the website it says 8 in and 2 out. The 2 out is actually the stereo. So you can't run these inputs here into any other outputs other than the stereo output as well as the headphone output. They will also have their volume control. The power button is here and the power socket is right there. Now this is really light and it feels really cool to use. The sliders feel like good quality sliders. They don't feel cheap and nasty, they're not scratchy. These preamps incorporate a very wide frequency of volume, so all the way with the line down, even with a heavy hitter, you're not going to get much signal. So as you start winding it up, you're going to get more volume on the channel, and there's no actual need for a 20 decibel pad. It's really that good. The limitation of this unit is this: it only has one phantom power control for 2 channels. Now that might not be a big deal for some people, but it might for others. For myself, I have a mixer that has 10 XLR phantom power channels that I can run directly into this if I choose to, but most of the time I'm using dynamic mics, or my PA also has a phantom power switch on there, so then I can run some extra phantom power channels such as condenser mics for vocals or an overhead mic or whatever I need to if I do need the extra channels. Now another really cool feature about this is, watch this, I can actually turn it on when it's not plugged in, because it takes 6 AA batteries in the back. So if you're at a location where you can't plug this in, or you're out of sockets and you have batteries, you can run it for a few hours on the AA's and it's going to run great. I know the lights look like they're blinking, and that's only because the camera is positioned in a way where there's a light behind it, so they're not actually blinking if it looks like that. Now another interesting design point about the Zoom R16 is that it actually has 2 onboard microphones, and it has 1 on each side. So 1 on this side and 1 over here. You can enable the onboard microphones just by clicking the mic on, and that will give you 2 or a stereo set of microphones you can use directly into the unit. So instead of having to line a mic in through the back, you then have a stereo set. Now that's great for rehearsals. It's also really cool for just getting ideas down if you're in a rush and you want to remember what you're doing. So that's a really cool thing to have on a system. Makes it more like one of their H4 recorders, where you just get a couple of stereo mics or H2s or whatever it is. So it's very, very simple and very, very effective. Now in terms of sound quality, I've been using a Motu 8 Pre, or 2 of those, for the last few years, and this sounds as good as the Motu unit. You can also run this directly into a PC or Mac, and you've then got an 8 input sound card. I'd be less inclined to use this as a sound card. For me, I'd rather just record directly to this unit, USB it, or just grab the SD card out of here and just slam it straight into the computer and then run it into my Nuendo suite. Now this is one of those units where you can just master and mix directly on here, and it sounds great. I'm going to show you how it sounds. But for me, I always prefer to have the flexibility of a proper editing suite. This does come with Cubase, the light version, but I'd also suggest using whatever you're comfortable with. It will accept anything. It records both in 16 and 24-bit. You've got the flexibility of CD quality or higher than CD quality. I'm actually going to get another one of these because you can actually sync a second R16 to this R16. So slave and master mode, where you can then record up to 16 tracks straight in to this or straight into a computer and use that to record with. And I'm going to show you just how this sounds with no mixing through my computer, just straight from this, well, into my Moto 8 pre, because that's the only way I can record how this sounds onto the web. So here we go.
It was too little